Hello guys, can you hear me? I hope that today you had a good contest. How was it for you? And by the way, I really need to go to a barber shop. There's a lot of things that I have to do and I just kept postponing just because of Repo Wife. I have to, I really need to do some things. Okay, how was the contest? Hi. Let's see. Will premium be premium? Yes, premium is really premium. You can also ask the people who have gotten premium so far and see that if they liked it or not. And guys, by the way, I'm waiting for more people to join so that they can, so that we can start talking about the problems and start solving them. But before that, tell me how was the contest for you? What do you mean by resources? I will tell you about the premium. But guys, by the way, tomorrow is our contest premiere round 2. Do not forget to participate in that. And I can assure you that the quality is more than the quality of the problems for sure is more than the quality of problems that you see anywhere. That's for sure. Hopefully tomorrow we're gonna have our second premiere contest. As you know, many LGMs, many IGMs participate in our contest, but I don't know why people with lower ratings do not participate much in our contest, even though we have easier problems too. But I mean, the density of talents in our contest is too high. You know, high rated people participate, but people with who are beginners, etc., do not have not participated much. Even though we have easy problems too, we have very good easy problems too. No, it's not harder than usual. That's the point. We have 8 problems in the contest. We have problems A to H. We have a problem. Do not care about these points. These change. I mean, we didn't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I mean, we have 8 problems and we have a wide variety of difficulty for problems. So, okay. Okay, you are talking about today's contest, definitely. The contest was harder than the other 3 that I have participated. Okay, so many cheaters. And guys, there's something interesting about RepoVive. We have designed an anti-cheat system that we are working so heavily on it. And basically, one of the issues that we detected in Codeforces and leads codes, and one of the things that, okay, what can we have better? I mean, because there's no point in something that already exists. We should have some things that are better. One of the things that we were thinking about was cheat detection. Is that something that you are interested about the cheat detection system? I mean, it considers many different formulas. I mean, we actually did some research about it. I mean, reading some papers. That's how you can detect codes that are inspired by AI. I mean, other than very simple indications, like I don't say the simple indications because I don't want to teach you that's how you can remove them. But there are some simple indications that simply show that the code has used AI. But other than that, there are some indications that are not as simple. And that was the things that we were working on. Okay, I think that people who wanted to join have joined. I think we are ready to start. Are you guys ready? Shall we start? Oh my god, I'm running out of charge. That's not good. I hope that's it's miss. Yeah, 15%. Guys, for beginners, definitely you can use our roadmaps. We have many different roadmaps that are very exactly for the situation that many of you are in, especially for example, dynamic programming roadmap that's 1838 people are in it, are learning from it. Graph theory that has 637 people. If you are preparing for job interviews, we have pattern 22, and we have a very important release. And if you want to be coached by us or see the more premium roadmaps and the premium problems for people, it's mostly the premium problems for people who want to prepare for job interviews. You can get access to them as well. I mean, if you wanted, I will talk about that later. If you are ready, we should start talking about the problems. And shall we start? Or I think people who wanted to join have joined already. Shall we start talking about the problems? Problem A is cursed with 67 million. I did participate for the first time today. That's interesting. That's interesting. And guys, again, tomorrow we're gonna have our contest on Repovite. I mean, you can look at my face and understand the amount of work we put into Repovite. And you can understand that there's no reason for me to tell you that how much we worked on the contest. Yeah, I mean, we can definitely talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it if you want good job, etc. You can join our job community as well for people who are more into jobs. We will talk about it. And today we have a very big release as well. Maybe I'll show you a release. I will show you a teaser today. That's very interesting. But anyway, let's start talking about the problems. The first problem is Sieve of Eratosthenes. It was supposed to imitate that. It says that you are given n positive integers a1 to an. Please determine. Please. I never saw someone saying please in this thing. Please determine if it is possible to select any number of elements in A so that their product is 67. Note that it may not contain 0 elements. Well, guys, first of all, when you see this, the first question that comes to your mind should be, is 67 prime or not? And 67 is prime. I mean, I mean, if you don't want to calculate, you can just search Google, is 67 prime? And it says yes. So 67 is prime. So you should have 67 in your numbers. If you have 67 in your numbers, the answer is yes. If you don't have 67 in your numbers, the answer is no. So it's very. I don't know if you want me to implement it or not. If you want, I can implement it. So basically, it's a 4, and you can check if you have a 67 or not. Is it clear? Shall we move on to the next problem, or you want me to implement it? Off topic. Can you also do some feature on Repovite where we can host private contests for my college? Yes, that's actually a very good idea. That's actually a very good idea. We'll work on that. Soon we will have an ICPC style contest that There are some people who want to host an ICBC contest on Repo Vibe, ICBC style contest that you can participate in teams. We are adding those. Okay, awesome. Let's move on to problem B. I haven't read problem B from before. I'm gonna solve in front of you. I'm gonna show you how I approach the problems and solve them. So let's see that what problem B is. It says that you are given a permutation A of length n. You can perform the following operation any number of times, possibly zero. Select an index and swap, select an index I and swap AI and A of 2i. For example, if it's like this, you can swap A2 and A4 to get 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, but you cannot swap A2 and A3. Please determine if the sequence can be sorted in increasing order. That's interesting. So you can only swap a number I with 2i. I mean, when I look at this, the first thing comes to my mind is this. This creates some chains of numbers. See, for example, look at these numbers 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on. And look at, see, among these numbers, do you agree that I can sort them? I mean, if I only consider these numbers, I can just change the order among them in any way I want. I can change the order as I want in here, right? That's any way I want because each time I can swap two adjacent ones among these on these indices. The next chain is 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, and so on. The next chain is 5, 10, 20. So each chain starts from an odd number and each time multiplies by 2. Then each number is going to be in one of these chains, and these chains are completely independent of each other. These chains will be completely independent of each other. Do you agree with this? So we have several chains that are completely independent of each other, and in each of them you can change the order as you want. I mean, as you want, you can change the orders. Do you agree? Why independent? Because a number cannot be in two of these chains at the same time. All these chains are completely separate from each other. A number cannot be in two of the chains. Why? Because the first chain, if you take a look at the first chain, you see that all the numbers are 1 times 2 to the power of x. These numbers are 3 times 2 to the power of x. The numbers in the form of 3 times 2 to the power of x. These are the numbers in the form of 5 times 2 to the power of x. So these are different type of numbers. For each number, you should see that each number can be shown as a prime number, I mean an odd number times 2 to the power of something, right? So each number will be only in one of them. Is it completely clear? I'm running out of charge. Maybe let me change my place and put you in charge. If it's clear, please put a plus or use this emoji. I opened this. I'm also in university and it's Sunday. There's no one in here. Maybe I can show you around too. I mean, if you take a look at it, there's just no one around here. Let me put you in charge. Okay. So is it fully clear? So now the point is that, okay, you just need to independently sort each one of these. Just let's independently sort each one of these. And once you do that, then if at the end the whole array is sorted, then you're good. Otherwise, if the whole array is not sorted, then there's no way that you can sort it. Okay, that's the whole thing. So how you can do that? For example, you can do a for whenever you saw a number. I mean, for example, have a for on all i's. Maybe it's better if I, at least to demonstrate it, maybe it's better if I write it here. So basically, I want to just demonstrate. I don't show the for code. You can have a for, I mean, let's write it in one base so that it's more clear. You can say that, you know, the index in here starts from I. You can say that while k is even and then a of k is less than a of k half, swap a of k and a of k half and divide k by half. So what it means is that when you start from some I, as long as it's less than the number I over 2, and I mean the one before it, and then I over 4, and then I over 8, as long as it is, just swap them. This way you are basically doing an insertion sort over those chains. So you are sorting those chains independently. And you know that you cannot do better than that. Each chain can be sorted independently, and it should be sorted independently. But if at the end the whole array is not sorted, the answer is no, it's not possible. But if the whole array was sorted, then the answer is yes. For example, in the first one, let's do dry run on the first one. In the first one, the first chain is this, the second chain is this alone, the third chain is this alone. So you just sort this chain turns into 1, 2, 4. The second chain only has 3 and it will remain 3. The third chain only has 5, so it remains 5. And I see that this is sorted, so that's the answer. In the second one, the first chain is this. When you sort it, it becomes 1, 3, 4. And this one remains at 2, this one remains as 5. And you see that this is not sorted, so the answer is no. Is it fully clear? If it's fully clear, please put a plus or use this emoji. Which university? UMD. University of Maryland. Was its contest harder than other Div 3s, in your opinion? So far, I can say that problem B looked harder than problem Bs of other Div 3s. Problem B looks harder, but let's see the rest of the problems too. So far, problems B looks harder. Can you go through problems in reverse? If majority of you wants that, we can do that. We do democracy. Can C be solved with and without DP? Let's take a look at C. And guys, if you are enjoying the live stream, I would appreciate it if you like the video. That helps. Or if you want to support the channel, support the other streamers, as you have seen it, RepoVive now has more streamers. More people have joined RepoVive as streamers. And we definitely should pay them for their time. Previously, when it was just me, I would do it myself. But now we have to pay them, and if you can support us in doing that, you can do it by joining the channel. It's like $2 a month in the US and less than $1 in India. So no pressure, but if you wanted to support us, that would be deeply appreciated. Otherwise, even liking the video or subscribing to the channel would be a great support. Let's move on to problem C. Problem C, dice roll sequence. It says that consider the following cube D where numbers x were numbers x and 7, x lies on opposite sides. Sorry, x and 7 minus x. I read it as m dash. It says that a sequence B of integers from 1 to 6 is called a dice row sequence if it satisfies the following condition. All pairs of adjacent elements lie on adjacent sides of the cube. 1 4 2 is a dice roll sequence. Well, okay. So it basically says that x and 7 minus x should not be next to each other. Given a sequence A of n integers from 1 to 6, you can perform the following operation any number of times, possibly 0. Select an index and an integer x from 1 to 6, then change the value of ai to x. Please determine the minimum number of operations required to make a dice roll sequence. Okay, so let me explain to you the problem first. It says that you have a sequence, and basically in this sequence, x and 7 minus x should not be next to each other. That's the whole thing. The sum of no two adjacent numbers should be 7. That's the whole thing. You have to say that what is the minimum number of elements that need to be changed in a way that x and 7 minus x won't be next to each other. Yes. So we have to figure that out. All has to be adjacent, even same numbers. Yeah. They cannot be same two. They cannot be same two. They should all be adjacent. They cannot be even same. So let's talk about this problem. Okay. Let me, for example, when I see this problem, definitely, I mean, maybe I'm also biased by the comments that you said as well, because you told me that solve it once with DP or without DP. Yeah, one obvious idea that usually these problems will be solved by is DP. That you will have DP of I and J that tells you that if we only consider the first I elements and we only want to fix the first I elements, only wants the first I elements to be a dice roll sequence. And the last one, the one that is at position I, is number J. J can be from 1 to 7. Then what is the minimum cost? Then what is the minimum cost? So that's a classic DP problem. That says that if we consider the first I numbers and the number as position I is J, what is the minimum cost? And that can be easily updated. How? DP of I and J will be updated from DP of I minus 1 and everything except J and 7 minus J. Here it can be any X except J and 7 minus J. So you will update it from them, and you will also add, if J was not equal to AI, it means that you have to do an additional operation here too, if J was not equal to AI. In that case, you add 1 to it as well, right? So that would be just a classic DP problem. So DP of I and J is that the first I numbers, if the number I is equal to J, what is the answer? Is it completely clear? It seems like you have also a greedy solution. If A of I equal to F, answer as well as A of I equal. Yeah, that also looks like an interesting idea. I think that's right. Yeah, that's also right. I will explain that too. Yeah, we can do it greedily too. Yeah, okay. I will explain it again. If you want, we can. if you want, we can do an implementation as well. But if you prefer to pass it quicker, we can also move on to other things. But let me explain this again. We say that dp of I and j means that if we only consider the first I elements of the sequence and the elements number I is equal to j, then what is the minimum number of elements that you need to change? Okay, so if we consider the first I elements, then number at elements I is equal to j, then what is the number of elements that need to be changed? And dp of I and j can be updated from dp of I minus 1 and x, where x should not be j and should not be 7 minus j. Because if it's equal to one of those two, if it's equal to j or if it's equal to 7 minus j, that's not valid. It should be anything other than that. And if j was not equal to ai, we add one more to it, because we have to change this. So if j was equal to ai, dp of I and j would be minimum of these values. If j is not equal to ai, dp of I and j would be minimum of these values plus 1, because we need one additional operation also to make a of I equal to j. So in general, dp of I and j would be minimum of dp of I minus 1 and x, where x is not equal to j and x is not equal to 7 minus j. And if j was not equal to ai, we have an additional one as well that we add to it. Is it fully clear now? This is the dp solution. But we have a non-dp solution as well that we suggested. I will explain that. If it's clear, please put a plus or use this emoji. What is this? Okay, close. Do you guys prefer if I implement or if I explain the other solution? What do you guys prefer? Tell me if you prefer to be implemented, I can implement it. Implements, implements, implements. The other solution. We can also do both as well. But because the total time of the stream is fixed, then maybe the later problems won't be discussed. But we can do the both. Let's discuss greedy and move on. Please show D. Implements. You are so equal. I don't know why you're so equal. Okay, let me first start talking about the greedy solution as well, and then we we'll consider if we need to implement as well. First, let's do the greedy part. So the greedy part, the greedy solution is that you can start from the beginning and go forward, keep iterating. As long as you have not seen any issues, keep going. Once you detected an issue, you saw two adjacent numbers that both of them are equal, that they are equal, or their sum is equal to 7. Once you detected an issue, you should definitely change one of these two. But can you tell me which one of these two is better to change? If we iterate from the beginning and we detect the first place that we have some issue, can you tell me that which one of these two is better to be changed? Do you have any ideas for it? Second, what do the rest of you think? The second one, why? Why the second one? Middle, there are two. Second one, we just don't need to consider two adjacent, but that will sound 7 or equal. Right? Yes. Second, because it would take one operation to fix. Yeah, exactly. Because, see, it's better to choose the right one. Why? Because we are iterating from left to right. after this operation, this element will go away. And this element did not have any issues with the one that was before it. But this one, maybe it has issues with the next one as well. For example, the example that you said, 4, 3, 4. The point is that 4 now doesn't have the initial 4. This is fixed with the previous one. So there's no issue here. So if we want to change this or this, the right one is better because maybe it also fixes this relation as well. So when you've detected an issue, you always prefer to change the one that is to the right, not the one that is to the left. Because by changing the one that is to the right, maybe you will solve some future issues as well. And what do you change it to? The point is that you can change it to anything that won't be problematic for the future. Because whatever this number is, it will just remove two numbers for here. For example, assume that this is 3. And assume that this is 5 without, just assume this. 3 means that this cannot be 3 and cannot be 4. This 5 means that this cannot be 5 and this cannot be 2. So each of these two numbers at most remove two options for this one. But still there are two options left. There are 6 possible numbers. This one removes 2 of the options. This one removes also 2 of the options. Anyway, 2 options will be left. So when you change this, the point is that you always can set it such that it will not clash with the final values of the elements next to it. You can always ensure that it will not clash with the two elements next to it. So because of that, you can just rest assured about these elements. You can rest assured and you can say that, okay, this will not clash for anything. That's why you can set it to 0. Just conventionally, let's just set it to 0. We just set it equal to 0. 0 just means that this number is okay. Don't worry about it. When we set something equal to 0, we mean that this is okay. Don't worry about it. So we don't necessarily change it to 1 to 6. We define a new number, 0, that says that, okay, this is fine. Just don't worry about it. It will find its number. At the end, we can set what we want it to be. Okay, that's the whole point. Is it clear? That's the greedy solution. The greedy solution says that keep going. The first time that you detected some issue, change the right one to 0 and add 1 to the answer. If it's clear, please put a plus in the chat or use this 100 emoji. Crystal clear. Awesome. Now, do you still want to implement this one, or do you prefer to go to D? We're just gonna have a quick vote and decide D or implement. Because there are at most 4. Yes, exactly. There are at most 4 forbidden values. D, no need implement. Implement. 3 to 1 for now. Can you explain DP again? DP of I and J basically means that the first I elements, we're gonna fix the first I elements such that elements number I is equal to J. That's our DP solution. Guys, I strongly recommend you, have you guys watched the topic streams or not? Just tell me, have you watched the topic streams before or not? How many of you have watched them? If you have watched them before, put a plus, otherwise put a minus. I just want to have a clear picture of how familiar you are with this stuff. Yes, put I didn't write any codes. No. Guys, if you attend the sessions, please try to watch the topic streams in advance. That helps you a lot to understand a lot of things. So most of the things that we explain here if you have watched the topic streams, you understand them way better and you have a better picture of everything. So just go. I mean, we have covered most of the topics in the topic streams. From DP, I mean, the DP one, for example, already I think it's seen by 48K people. These are the streams that both have great quality, and also I have talked about many things before in them. So if you just watch them, then you're gonna understand many things that we talked in the streams way better. So please, if you attend the streams for solution discussions, make sure to watch all of these. I mean, on your schedule. You don't have to learn all of them in a day or two. But set a schedule one by one, try to learn them and understand them. For example, it starts from dynamic programming session 1, then dynamic programming session 2. Put some time. If you want to grow, put some time and focus. I mean, the stream is like 2 hours or so. If you want to really learn, if you want to really grow, you have to put some time and understand what I'm saying, try to implement it yourself, pause it and go start implementing it. That's how you can actually grow. Okay, let's then move on to problem D. Just you, because you said explain DP again, DP of I and J means that the first I elements are solved and the elements number I is equal to J. What was rating for problem F? Guys, we just implemented an extension so that you don't need to worry about this. What is the rating of problem F? You can just, if you install RepoWeb Chrome extension, then you can just go to the contest. I have a, if you see this, because this is testing, I mean, I have two extension. I have to change that so that it doesn't interfere with the streams. For example, let's take a look at problem F. You ask that what is the rating of this problem. This extension during the contest will estimate the rating of the problems during the contest so that we can have an idea of what the rating of the problem is. So just search Chrome extension. What am I doing? Chrome. What am I doing? RepoWeb. You can just install this Chrome extension and it just gives you the rating. And it's calculating. I mean, it might take some time to calculate because it tries to apply the same formula of Codeforces. So anyway, that was the solution of the DP solution. And I really recommend to you to watch this. I mean, if you want to learn more about this DP, try to watch these dynamic programming ones. You completely understand this way of defining DPs and solving them. I mean, sometimes it's kind of obvious that, for example, you have not watched them to me. If you watch them, because many things will be simpler for you because I went to them in detail before. What's J in DP? J means that what is the number at position I, the value written on position I. Let's move on to problem D. I know that many of you are waiting for me to go to problem D. Absolute cinema. It says that there is a hidden sequence A1 A to AN of n integers. It is guaranteed that A of I, the absolute value of A of I, is at most 1,000 for all I from 1 to n. Let's define a function f of x as follows. F of x is equal to sigma I from 1 to n A sub I times I minus x. Okay, it's a hidden sequence. And each of them is at most, the absolute value is at most 1,000. And f of x is equal to sigma A of I times I minus x. The distance that it has to position x. Given n values, please determine the values of a1 to an. It is guaranteed that the values can be determined uniquely. Okay, interesting problem. Well, again, in this problem, the first thing that comes to my mind is that when we have f of i's, I prefer to consider like what is the value, for example. I mean, if I play with these f i's, for example, if I look at, for example, f of 2 minus f of 1, or if I look at f of 1 plus f of n, what do I get? You know, these are the things that comes to my mind at the beginning. Like these type of problems, if you keep playing with these numbers that you have, you will get a good sense of all we have. For example, f of 2 minus f of 1, what it is gonna be? F of 1 has, for everything has times I minus 1. F of 2 has I minus 2 instead. Only for 1 it has one more of it. So basically, f of 2 minus f of 1 for everything that is greater than, at position greater than or equal to 2, we have one less of it, but instead we have one more a1. Do you agree with it? I mean, when we go from f of 1 to f of 2, we're gonna have one less a of I for all i's greater than or equal to 2, but we're gonna have one more a1. Do you agree? So it's basically like, you will understand a1 minus sigma of ai's. F of 3 minus 2 is a1 plus a2 minus the rest of ai's after that. So this way you will get a good sense of what the numbers are, right? Because f of 3 minus 2, I mean, the whole thing is just playing with these numbers. F of 3 minus f of 2. Guys, is it clear what I'm doing so far? I mean, is it clear what f of 2 minus f of 1 was? You can't see the rating? I don't know, maybe it's the latest version. It's not. For some reason, it's not working though. I will let the team know. For some reason, it's not working. But anyway, is it clear? No. Maybe the latest version is not on Chrome. Maybe that's the reason. I mean, maybe the correct version is not on Chrome right now. We haven't uploaded the latest version on Chrome. Right now on Chrome, the version is written somewhere. It's version 1.5.1. Yeah, a later version exists that is not there. It's not on my local as well, unfortunately. On my local is a test one. But we will put that there so that you can download it, and it lets you see the rating of the problems during the contest. But anyway, is it clear? No, I didn't understand. Okay, so let me explain again this part. I'm saying, guys, f2. What is f of 2 minus f of 1? See, this formula, what does this formula say? This formula, the whole thing that this formula is saying is that let's go over all the elements and multiply a of I by I minus x, by their distance to x. So each number will be multiplied by its distance to x. So if you go from f of 1 to f of 2, the point is that you get closer to all the elements at position 2 or more, but you get one step farther from the elements at position 1. So your distance to all the ones at position 2 or more will be decreased, so their AI will be decreased, but the distance to 1 will be increased, so you will add a1. F of 3 minus f of 2 will be minus a of I for I greater than or equal to 3 and plus for I less than or equal to 2. In general, f of x plus 1 minus f of x is gonna be sigma of a of I for negative of sigma of a of I for I greater than or equal to 3 minus a of I less than or equal to 2. Let me see if my video, no, there's no issue with my video. That's the whole thing, right? That's the whole thing. So if we just consider these things, for example, in here you have A1 and A2 plus A1 and A2. In here you have plus A1. If you subtract these two numbers from each other, now if you subtract these two numbers from each other, this sigma of AIs for I greater than or equal to 2 will be removed. This plus A1s will be removed. All that remains is 2 times A2. So if I consider f of 3 minus f of 2, and from this I subtract f of 2 minus f of 3, f of 1, then I have 2 times a of 2. So this number is basically f of 3 minus 2 times f of 2 plus f of 1. Why is that so? Because f of 2 minus f of 1 is equal to this. I should explain it once again. But did you understand the picture? I mean, the general picture? I mean, did you understand the general thing or not? Yeah, the total sum is equal to f of 1 plus f of n divided by 2. Did you understand the general thing, guys, or not? I will explain it once again in more detail. But I want to just see if you understood the general picture. If you have some idea, put a plus or use this emoji. If you don't, put a minus in here. I just want to know that what is your situation. You must know. Okay, yeah. Okay. What about the rest of you? No other comments? Okay. So let me explain it once again. Let me write it once again and explain it in more detail. See, I said that let's play with f of I. What f of i's? What is f of 1? F of 1 is 0 times a of 1. Because the distance between 1 and 1 is 0. Plus 1 times a of 2. Because the distance between 1 and 2 is 1. Plus 2 times a of 3. Because the distance between 1 and 3 is 2. So basically, it's like for each index, you see that how far is it from me, and multiply that by a of that. Plus n minus 1 times a of n. This is f of 1, right? What is f of 2? F of 2 is equal to 1. Guys, in general, whenever you see absolute value of I minus x, what you can think of is distance. That basically is like distance. Why so? Because, I mean, if you look at it like distance, this difference that we have between the value of I and x, then it's like each number is gonna just multiply by the distance that it has to this number x. And looking at it like distance will really help you out. See, now f of 2 is gonna be like f of 1 times a of 1 plus 0 times a of 2. So again, we are calculating the distance that they have to a of 2 this time, and we multiply it by their values. Plus up to n minus 2 times a. So for each I, f of I or f of x is going to be the distance that three numbers have to x, right? So based on this, based on all this that we said, can you tell me what is the value of f of x minus f of x minus 1? Can you tell me what is the value of f of x minus f of x minus 1? Can anyone tell me that? Let's f of x minus f of x minus 1. What is that value? I saw it's using Gaussian, it's lazy. Yeah, that looks like an overkill. Yeah, when we move from I to I plus 1 for function f, exactly, the prefix sum up till I is added and the suffix sum from I plus 1 is subtracted. Why so? Because you can see that when you go from I to I plus 1, your distance to this prefix will be added by 1. And your distance to this suffix will be decreased by 1, right? So you can say that when you go from f of I to f of I plus 1, this prefix will be added, this suffix will be subtracted. Is it clear now or not? Hi. Yeah, we can combine it with that as well. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. That's actually a better idea. Kind of remind me of some of these sentences in tree. Yeah. Okay, so that's the main thing. When we go from I to I plus 1, or x to x plus 1, or x minus 1 to x, the point is that to everything in the prefix, consider the prefix of the numbers I up to x minus 1. For each I up to x minus 1, we are getting farther from them when we go from x minus 1 to x. We're getting farther from them. So they will be added. But everything that is after x, that is x or after, each I that is greater than or equal to x, for those, we are getting closer to them. So they will be decreased. So it's like this suffix will be decreased, this prefix will be increased. So basically it's like in my array, it's like I have any prefix minus any suffix. For each x, I know that what is the sum of the first x elements minus the rest of the elements. The suffix of the rest of it. Is it clear? If it's clear, please put a plus or use this emoji. Math forces. I really recommend to you guys to participate in Repo Round. I'm sure that you will like it better. And we worked so much on judging as well. Anyway, I will talk about that after this problem. But what is the expected difficulty of Repo Round compared to Sieve? Repo Premier Round is similar to global contests on Codeforces. But we have 8 problems, so it's a wider range of difficulty. Our contest is good for a pupil, for a newbie, to a legendary grandmaster. I mean, like problem H is a challenge for a legendary grandmaster. Problem A is something that's almost anyone can solve. I mean, if you are just serious, you will definitely be able to solve this problem A. We added one more problem. Previously, we had 7 problems. Now we have 8 problems to make sure that we have all the wide range of difficulties. And it's basically something, I mean, right now, it's very talent dense. I mean, basically, I mean that high rated people participate a lot, but lower rated people, unfortunately, don't are not very familiar. The beginners are not very familiar. Or maybe it's because people who are higher rated understand the value of the contest better at the moment, and lower rated ones are less familiar. But anyway, I believe that it would be good if we introduce it to people with lower rating as well to understand that. I mean, because we have many easier problems as well. Yeah, too many geometry type problems. Uh, this is not geometry if you mean this problem. I don't think this is called geometry. Unless the next problems are geometry, I don't. But anyway, so let's talk about the rest of it. So basically, we have this prefix minus a suffix, right? We also know the sum of the whole numbers. Like if you look at f of 1 and f of n, f of 1 plus f of n is gonna be equal to n minus 1 times the sum of all the elements. Because in f of 1, 0 is multiplied by by a of 1. In f of n, n minus 1 is multiplied by a of 1. In f of 1, 1 is multiplied by f of a of 2. In f of n, n minus 2 will be multiplied by a of 2. And so on. So you see that basically the sum of these numbers always is equal to n minus 1. So it will be equal to n minus 1 times the sum of the whole things, the whole numbers. If you just divide this number by n minus 1, then you will get the sum of the numbers. So you have the total sum of the numbers as well. Let's call it S. And let's now consider we have sigma of ai minus sigma of I greater or equal to x. Let's add s to it, sum of all the numbers to it. Then it will turn into, these negative numbers will cancel, and these ones will be multiplied by 2 basically. So we will have 2 times this prefix, the sum of this prefix. So that's what we're gonna have. 2 times the sum of this prefix. This way, we're gonna have all the prefix sums. Is it clear, guys, or not? If it's clear, please put a plus or use this emoji. F and H are geometry. I didn't know that F and H are geometry. I don't like F and H. I don't like geometry as well, you know? Yeah, that was the initial thing that I wanted to say. But this one that I'm saying right now, maybe it's simpler to say. Okay, is it completely clear? So you have all the prefix sums. Now that you have all the prefix sums, you have the real numbers as well, because you can just, when you know that what is the sum of each number is going to be this prefix minus the prefix before it. This is going to be, I mean, this prefix minus this prefix is going to be this number. So you're going to have all the numbers. Okay, that's one way to say it. Are there any other ways? Yes, there are other ways too. What are the other ways? You could also say that based on this formula that we had, f of x plus 1 minus f of x was equal to the same sigmas, just this time. This would be I up to x, ai, and this would be I from x plus 1. AI. And then if you subtract this from this, you can see that this part that is for x plus 1, those get cancelled out. The ones for less than x minus 1, those get cancelled as well. The only thing that remains, if you subtract this from this, the bottom one minus the top one, you will get 2 times AI. So basically, f of x plus 1 minus f of x minus f of x minus f of x minus 1, which is gonna be f of x plus 1 minus 2 times f of x plus f of x minus 1 is equal to 2 times AI. Then you can a of x, sorry, 2 times a of x will be remained. It will be equal to 2 times a of x. You can divide both places by 2, and you get that a of x is equal to a of f of x plus negative f of x, sorry, negative f of x plus the average of f of x minus 1. Let's have it in brackets. F of x minus 1 and f of x plus 1. And this way you could calculate as well. There's some small things as well, like what is f of 0? What is f of n plus 1? Because for a of 1 and a of n, you will need f of 0 and f of n plus 1. But that's also easy to solve because f of 0 is just f of 1 plus the sum of all the elements. And we know the sum of all elements. And f of n plus 1 is just f of n plus the sum of all the elements. And we know the sum of all the elements. So basically, we have f of 0 and f of n plus 1 as well. So these numbers can be easily calculated. Is it clear? We can, as I said, we can also use f of 0 and f of n plus 1 as well. If it's clear, please put a plus or use this emoji. And guys, I think that the next problem will be the last problem that we can go to and solve. Maybe we don't get to problems F and the wow. Okay. So even without the sum of the last elements observation, one could get the first and last element from the first 2 lines, F2 and F1. Yeah. Yes. Probably. Yeah. Okay. If everything is clear, we can move on to the next problem. Shall we move on to the next problem or not? Do you have any questions? S, please. Shall we move on to problem S? And guys, we are getting a lot more active on our Discord. So, more than Telegram. I know that most of you are on Telegram, but I should tell you that we are getting more active on our Discord now. Let me send the Discord to you. Let me. Here is the link of the Discord, guys. So, if you want to join, you're welcome to join our Discord server there. Guys, how do you like the live stream so far? Give me a feedback on how you liked it live stream so far. Very quickly, I just want to talk about it for 1 or 2 minutes, and then we will move on to the next problem. Give us some feedback. And problem E, guys, probably is going to be the last problem that we're going to discuss today. How are you feeling about this stream? Did you understand everything? It was everything fully clear, or any issues? Just joined for E, so I don't know how this stream went, but your streams are great. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, guys. So guys, also let me tell you this as well. We, for a long time, I've said it so many times as well. For a long time, we are trying to start some streams on Instagram as well. That I'm sure that you're gonna like it. It's a new type of streams that we talk about your current state, how we can help you. I mean, your rating, we can give you feedback. These are the new type of streams that we never had on this channel. And we're planning to do it on Instagram. But Instagram has a weird rule that you need 1,000 followers to be able to do the stream. So if you can support us on Instagram, you can join our Instagram from here. Just here you can see our Instagram page. We are at 386. We need to reach 1,000 to be able to start that type of streams. In those streams, we try to actually build a deeper connection and actually help your case better. I mean, know that's what is your state, know you better, how are you training and everything. That's basically the goal that we have. But yeah, I mean, this weird, I can have these streams on my personal channel because now my personal page has more than 1,000 followers. But it's better if it's on RepoWave channel, RepoWave page. So if you can support us there so that we can achieve 1,000 people as soon as possible and we can start. I didn't know Instagram had the stream. Instagram has lives. Okay, so let's talk about problem E now. Let's talk about problem E. Idiot first search. There is a binary tree of n plus 1 vertices. N is odd with vertices labeled 0 to n. At most one letter can be written on each word. There is a binary tree of n plus 1 vertices. N is odd with vertices labeled 0 to n. At most one letter can be written on each vertex of the tree. And all vertices initially have nothing written on them. The root of the vertex is 0. In the tree, vertex 0 is the parent of vertex 1, while all other vertices either have 2 or 0 children. Okay, Bob is lost in one vertex of the tree and wishes to escape the tree by reaching vertex 0. This is very easy for most people with common sense. However, since Bob is an idiot, I like this statement. He created a new way of traversing the tree, introducing the idiot first search. When Bob is on vertex V, Bob's movement is determined as follows. If V is a leaf, Bob always moves to the parent of V. Otherwise, check the next two conditions. If V is a leaf, Bob always moves to the parent of V. If nothing is written on V, Bob writes L on vertex V and moves to the left child of V. If L is written on the vertex, Bob overwrites it to R and moves to the right child of V. If R is written on vertex, Bob erases it and moves to the parent of V. Okay. Okay. Vertex 0 is the parent of vertex 1 only though. Okay, it takes exactly 1 second for Bob to move to an adjacent vertex, so Bob will take exactly x seconds to perform x moves. It has been shown that regardless of which vertex Bob starts on, Bob can reach vertex 0 in a finite amount of time. We don't know who proved it, surely it can't be Bob, but it is definitely proven. It's a nice statement. For each k equal to 1 to n, please determine the total time it takes to reach vertex 0 if Bob started on vertex k. As the values can be huge, you are only asked to compute them modulo 10 to the 9th plus 7. So vertex 0 has only one child and the other vertices have 2 or 0 children. Just I want to make sure these are the children of vertex I. Wait. Okay, if it says no children. For each vertex, you have to say that if you start from there, how long it takes to get to vertex 0. Okay. And the way is that it will first go to the left child, then it goes to the right child, and then it goes to the parents. Okay, guys, if I just calculate some DP on this problem, is this statement clear? Is this statement clear? If this statement is clear, please use this emoji or put a plus. Never even used Instagram or TikTok. Yeah, I get it. But based on our research, the best place to do that kind of screenshots was Instagram. If you believe that that's not the best place, you can let us know. Okay, so guys, if I wanna, when I think about this problem, the first thing that comes to my mind is this: when you are on a vertex, just let's have some DP that says that if I start fresh from this vertex, how much it takes from me to go to the parents. If I start fresh from this vertex, and the answer would be that okay, if I start fresh from this vertex, I should first go to the left child and start fresh from that vertex and come back here. So you can see that how DP will be calculated now. Let's assume that this is vertex V, DP of V. Let's call the left child as DP of LC. First, you have to go to the left child. Then you have to do DP of LC actions to go through the subtree of C and then go to the parent. And then you will have 1 to go to the right child, and then you have DP of RC to come back to V, and then plus 1 to go to the parent of V. These are the DPs that we calculate at the beginning. This is V. This says that how much it takes from V to go to the parent of V. And then based on what I understood, we say that we go over all the vertices, and the first one, whenever you go to a vertex, if nothing is written in it, you write else. So maybe you come back to the subtree of V again as well. That's possible, that you come back to the subtree of V. So every time that you go to any vertex, you're basically starting fresh in that vertex again. That's a bit weird. So if what I understood is right, at the end, the only thing that matters is the sum of the DPs from vertex V to root. For each vertex, you have to calculate the sum of the DPs from that vertex to the root, to the vertex 1. And then when you have that, that's going to be the answer, basically. Let me drive around. This helps to understand that if Also, everything in this statement was as we assumed. So this problem says that, okay, this is vertex 0, this is vertex 1. Its children are vertices 2 and 3. 2 doesn't have any children. 3 has children 4 and 5. Let's calculate the DPs. What does the DP say? The DP say if I start from this vertex, how much it takes time for me to go to my parents if I start fresh from this vertex. For this root, it's 1. Because when we start from here, we just go 3. For this vertex, it's also 1. For this vertex, going to the parents, first I should go to 4 and come back. This would be 1 plus 1. Then 1 plus 1 plus 1 more to go here. So for 3, it would be 5. For 2, it would be 1 again. For 1, I should first go to 2, then come back, which will be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1. So it's going to be 9. So the answer is going to be like this. For vertex 1, it's going to be equal to 9. For vertex 2, it's going to be sum of 1 and 9. It's going to be 10. For vertex 3, it's going to be sum of 5 and 9, which is going to be 14. So far, it's correct. And for 4, it's going to be sum of 1 and 5 and 9, which is 15. For 5 is sum of 1 and 5 and 9, which is again 15. So at the end, because basically when you visit each vertex, that vertex is starting fresh completely. That vertex is completely starting fresh. So basically it's like, for each vertex, I'm calculating how much. I mean, if I come to this vertex fresh, what do I mean by fresh? I mean that nothing is written on this vertex. How much it takes just to go to my parent, not to the roots. Just to go to my parent, how much it takes. And because each time that we go on each vertex, we are going fresh, we can just add these values and it will tell us how much it takes to get to the roots. And that's going to be basically all what I came here. Is it clear? Yes, nothing is written on a sub-tree of them. Man, you have a strong Iranian accent. Yeah, I know that. How you know Iranian accents, though? Are you Iranian yourself, or you just know a lot of Iranians? By Instagram, based on the purpose of this lives, Instagram was the best fit. But if you think that somewhere else is better, like YouTube or anywhere else, you can let us know as well. But based on what we understood is that it's the easiest for people and the best experience for people to use Instagram. I know an Iranian ICPC World finalist. Who is he? Probably I know him. If he's a World finalist, I know him. Parsa, I know him. I know Parsa. You're in Australia? I know Parsa in Australia. If you're in Australia, that makes sense. Okay, I was right. Nice, interesting. Yeah, I know Parsa. Yeah, yeah. I don't know the exact name of the university, but I know it's Australia. Okay, is everything clear? Is the solution completely clear? I hope that you enjoyed this stream and you completely understood everything. Guys, again, do not forget to participate in our contest tomorrow. Let me see that how many people are registered so far. 83 people. And you know, it's really weird because the number of high-rated people who participate in contests is almost the same as most of the other contests. But unfortunately, lower-rated people don't know that we have, most of them do not know that we have such contests. And was our problem. We can take a look at the problems of the previous rounds as well in the problems pages, and you probably will like them too. So, hope to see you tomorrow at our contest, hopefully. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. Take care and goodbye.